Oh, hopefully. Okay. There's 3 people here. Nice. That's cool. Let me just make sure that everyone else is on. You guys, I don't know, can you guys unmute? I don't know if you can unmute or not. Like, you guys are welcome to, like, chime in and things like that.
Yo, David, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. We're here.
Okay. Oh, man. Your thing echoes a little bit, by the way. I'm not sure why.
Yeah, it's because we got two Zooms going at the same time. I'm going to just shut off my mic.
Oh, okay. So I was thinking like the best way to do this, right? I'm still kind of waiting. I think we might wait for like another 3 minutes or so. Um, and I think the best way to do it is just to kind of show exactly like the guide on the like PAYDEX, right? Like that specific thing is like and the reason why I think that's better to start there is because that's where every that's what you're gonna see major like on online mainly is like how to build the PAYDEX, right? And there's like fundability. I think it's the fundability platform. I forget what it's called. There's Prime Corporate Services, for example. And again, this isn't to throw shade or anything. It's just like I'm just simply explaining how the current marketplace is. Like you might run into them, and they're going to be selling you on the fact that you need to build a PAYDEX, get the net 30s, the gas cards, right? Uh, and so that's why I'm going to be starting there on building a PAYDEX, uh, because then like that I think that'll clear up a lot of things, and also once you understand that piece, it'll make sense as to like why you don't need to do a lot of things, and then the rest of the course will also make sense. And of course, if you guys have questions, I don't mind answering any questions you have as far as like any of this. Okay. And Monday, by the way, I'll be doing like actual Q&As for people's specific situations, because I like the thing about financial education, it's nice to know, but at the same time, the best way to actually apply it is on people's specific scenarios, because yeah, not everything can solve the someone's problem, right? So that's why I'm gonna be doing that Q&A. Anyways, so let me share my screen, and then I need, if it slows or lags or cuts out, just let me know, and I'll come up with another idea. But anyways, let me go ahead and share my screen. Okay. Is it cutting out or is it good? I don't know if you guys can unmute real quick. Okay, it's fine. So anyways, let me just, yeah, so we'll just start here with building a PAYDEX, right? So this is when someone says they're going to help you build business credit, this is what they mean is a PAYDEX, right? And if you don't know who that is, it's Duns and Bradstreet. So um, this is the actual company that manages that all that data, right? And you don't need to know like why they do it or what companies they allow. Just know that it's like Experian.com or TransUnion or any of that. It's just they call it Duns and Bradstreet, right? And the specific score that they create is called a PAYDEX, right? Kind of like how Experian has FICO, right? So that's all it is. But the thing is that PAYDEX, it's more for it's vendor credit that you're getting, right? And it's not so much used to determine your what's it called, your credibility. It's not meant for that, right? It's mainly for vendor trust, and the most common one that people are getting or tell you to get is going to be Uline. They're going to tell you to go to Uline, go to this website, and start ordering all this random stuff, basically, and they're going to report it as trade credit, which they do. You just type in Uline net 30, right? And it'll give you the option to set one up, right? But again, like they just invoice you later. You're just paying the invoice later. and it's not meant for credit decisions. And you can even like we'll get to that in a bit, but that's what PAYDEX really is, and that's what someone is trying to do when they say, "Hey, I'm going to show you how to build business credit." That's what they're doing, right? And they tell you to get these accounts. Another thing is the gas cards, which actually I do go into. Oh no, it's actually the same thing here. So they might tell you to get gas cards as well. This is the actual stack of like how people do it. A stack is just like the sequence of getting funding, right? And there's a bunch of different types of stacks. But anyways, they'll tell you to go to these websites as well to get the gas cards. And this is what they charge $3,000 for. A lot of these other places. And again, I'm not saying it. I'm just telling you how the market is. That's all it is. That's all I'm doing, right? It's not to throw shade. It's just letting you know. I just want to make that clear distinction. But anyways, this is like when you pay someone for that consulting, this is what they're going to be doing for you, right? And this is not needed. Like you don't need to do any of this. You don't have to spend all that money to actually get business credit, right? And I should have had my approvals ready to go. I'll set that up in a sec. But really, this is what it's used for: is vendor credit, as I mentioned, negotiating terms. So like net 30s, net 60s. If you're not too sure what that is, basically, business owners don't have to pay invoices that day they get it. A lot of business owners are working on what's called account receivables, and so they may onboard a client today, but they may not get paid until 30, 60 days later, right? And actually, my specific business is like that. Typically, when I get a new funding client, I usually don't get paid anywhere from like 30 to 60 days later. And sometimes, if it's a bigger deal, it's like 6 months to a year out, right? Um, but that's like a lot of businesses are like that. A common one is like contractors, right? They may take half now and then get the rest late, like once they finish the project, or they may not even take anything at all, right? Until they get to a certain point. But my point, that's really what that is. And there's like that's what PAYDEX is really is that's the type of credit system it is to look at how the other business pays their bills and whether you can trust them as either a vendor or a supplier, right? That's all it is, and that's really what it's for. Uh, Commercial landlords use it for screening, right? Let's say you want to, I don't know, get a warehouse. Sometimes they'll ask for your paydex, or sometimes or they won't, or insurance premiums, right? That's really what it's for, but it's not meant for like applications. And I can even show you, like, I think if I pull up the app, if this app, hold on, I really hope it's not lagging, you guys. And if it is, like, just let me like I apologize. I'm just working with what I got, right? But the reason I'm showing you the credit card app is because like the main reason why someone's going to tell you to build a PAYDEX is so that way you can like use it all off of go basically rely on only the business credit profile, right? And do something called non-PG funding, which we'll get into. But again, I want to break this down on PAYDEX because this is like what everyone's going to try to sell you is getting these net 30s and the vendor accounts, okay? And like you'll see quickly that they don't even ask for your PAYDEX number, like your PAYDEX. They only ask for your federal tax ID, which is the EIN, and that's it. They and then your information, but they don't ask for a PAYDEX or the DUNS number, right? Like here, let me see. Yeah, because it looks like here. Let me do a DUNS search. Duns and Bradstreet. I'll show you guys my actual because I did it with one of my other companies, and you'll see what I mean because it looks just like a social security number or a tax ID number, but it's not. Their website's so annoying. Um, it's asking for an. There's a way to search it. Mm, all right, let's just here. What does a DUNS number? The 9-digit number, right? It looks just like a social, but it's not. All right. Well, point is here because I don't want to waste time like just trying to look for it, right? It's just a 9-digit number. It looks just like a social, but it's not like it's not you like yeah. It's it. No one asked for it. No one actually asked for this. The banks don't ask for it, right? Now, what actually affects, as far as like business credit goes, is your actual FICO score. They still look at your personal FICO. Um, Hold on, I'll show you guys my approvals later, but you look at your FICO. That's the first thing. The business banking history, and then your financials, right? And this is what I mean about personal guarantee versus non-PG. So the reason why they're going to tell you to do all this, like set up a PAYDEX and get the business credit profile, is so that way you don't have to do the personal guarantee. But that doesn't exist anymore. Like it doesn't exist. Like you at this point you have to personal guarantee a lot of your loans. Uh, a lot of places aren't going to just do it under the business, and it just has to do with the financial stability of small business owners. That's it, right? Like corporation, for example, Apple, they're going to lend to them all day, but it's because the structure is just way different. They have both private and public investors. Like they're not going to fail versus a small business owner, right? It's just a different market, and so they're not gonna lend to you with not without the personal guarantee. So that's why you still have to have it, right? Um, Here, let me pull this up because this here explains more about how to get everything. So it's a FICO, and the main thing you need to look at is your actual personal credit score. Like these are the bare minimums to actually get approved, right? Like this approval here, where is it? Hold on. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So, yeah, the minimum's 2 years history, less than 10% utilization. Individual credit cards should have more than 20%, right? I mean, less than 20% utilization as well, like across the board, and no negative items. And then at least three credit cards with five to $10,000 limits and an installment loan, right? And again, like this is how I got this approval. This is an e-commerce client, by the way, that I got is $100,000 line of credit, and I don't this isn't like a credit card though, by the way. It's an actual business loan. And so again, this is with BMO though. I don't think they offer this line of credit anymore because it fluctuates a lot. It just rotates. But that's really what matters. And then this one specifically, they didn't ask for any financials, but sometimes they do. If they do, you can get something like this. This is $250,000 that I got for this company, right? And the only reason why that worked is because not only did they have the credit profile, but then they also had the tax returns. They had tax returns, right? And so really, that's like the main stuff that affects this type of financing. If you're going to get business loan or business cards, unsecured financing, or even secured lending, right? Secured lending is like they're remember how I said you have like some people get paid 30, 60, 90 days later. Those are called account receivables. And so I can go in the alternative financing side of things, and I can sell my invoices, and they can pay me for that, right? You see what I'm saying? So it's like they're just advancing me the sales. So it's like I just sold a client $100. They're gonna pay me in 30 days. Like, how about you send me, I don't know, $110, right? And then when I get paid, I give you that 100 and then plus an extra 10. And it's just to free up like cash flow, right? But that again, I started out on the personal side of things, and that's where I'm at now with financing, right? So again, that the PAYDEX stuff isn't needed. This isn't needed, but if you do want it, this is how easy it is. You just get Nat Prime, 2 to 3 net 30s, and this is in the free guide, by the way. Everyone has all this already, and then from there, 1 to 2 gas cards. But again, no one looks at PAYDEX, so really, like you'd be, in my eyes, if you're trying to get funding, you'd be wasting your time and money when you do that, right? So I think that's some good context with the basics of business credit. I don't know. I guess we can work backwards now because now that you understand this, then you understand like establishing credibility, why you need to do these things, right? Um, because like it all starts with they're all gonna tell you after that to get these things as well to get the PAYDEX. The DUNS number, I still show you how to do it, right? But if you're going to do it, you want to do it right. And all it is just making sure the business name and address all is lined up correctly on all your legal docs. And then that the address is a physical address. And that's pretty much it. That's really it. That is the core foundation and core setup. So when someone says, what's your structure like? That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. You're just making sure that the legal docs, all of that has matching information, and then after that is visibility, right? You would need to become visible to the banks, and there's a couple ways to do that. So of course, one way, and that's why they tell you to build out the credit profile, because they're like, oh, you wanna build this so that you become visible, right? It's the same context as like when you're building credit. It's like, how do you become visible to the banks or the algorithm? Well, it's like, well, you start off by opening like your personal checking account, right? And then from there, you make sure that you send the credit bureaus like your address, right? And then who your employer is. You add that stuff in, and then eventually you're gonna get put into the system. It's really weird, right? But my point, that's they think it's the same thing, and it's like, no, it's way different. There is and isn't a business credit system, right? There isn't, and the reason why I say that is because not everything gets reported to the business credit bureaus, which is a separate topic. But anyways, the key point is visibility. That's why they tell you to do that. But it's like, no, there's a completely different way to become visible to the lenders, and it's as simple as just getting a business website. That's really it, and you can just do a one-page website. The phone number, they're going to tell you to get a business phone number. It is really not necessary if you want. I've That's how I got my approvals, actually. Which one? This is Wafed. This is a $50,000 credit card, and this is UMB as well. Here, I'll just show you the UMB because that one doesn't have my name on it. um Oh, I deleted my name on that too. Okay. Well, here, I'll just show you right now the main card. Yeah. Here. This is really ugly. So I don't know if you can see that. I think you can see it. Wow, it's not. I have to go like that. I hope you can see that. There you go. You see? So it's a $50,000 card that I got. And I applied with just a one-page website, right? Like, they people want to make it so complicated when it's really not. Like, and that's what I mean about like it's like right now the information is true, but at the same time it's like when it comes to applying it, they're applying it the wrong way. Actually, is what I think. They're making it harder than it is. And so my point though is like just a simple one-page website is good enough. Or you know what? Here, let me share my screen again. Like literally just the home page and an about page. That's it. That's really all you need. Do not use the virtual address. I don't like, a lot of people are going to tell you to use virtual addresses. So like iPostal, Regis, there's a bunch. Don't use it. You're going to want to use the home address. Like if you don't have a commercial address, I'm telling you now, it's fine to use a home address. Um, Maybe next time I'll share like some of the applications, like my applications, because like no, like they don't care anymore. At one point it used to be a big deal, I guess, but now they understand that, like, you got to understand, one of the biggest companies in the world is Amazon.com, right? And if they wouldn't have lent to them because they're just like, because they theoretically wouldn't have a physical address, like a brick and mortar, they're e-commerce. And for them to not lend to Amazon would be like ridiculous. It's like, dude, like, look at how much money I make. It's clearly like a legitimate business model that has been what's it called, legitimized. Like they made it legit. So my point, that's why home addresses are okay, because there's like e-commerce people now, but it's because of Amazon. But anyways, the merchant processors, you don't really don't need it. You do and don't need it. And really, I would only get a merchant processor if you're already making sales, right? But if you don't, if you're not, if you're still uh, like just like making like piece jobs and not really like taking consistent clients, maybe you don't need it, right? Because I've had people just pay me through Zelle, for example, and like those merchant processors cost money every month. So, and it's like if you got to offset it, like my current merchant processor is $45 a month, right? And then the one through school actually I think is $100 a month. It's something weird, but my point is that they cost money, and so it's like, if you don't really need it though. No one asked for it. But if you're making money, then get it. The business website, the domain and email, really the email isn't necessary. But the domain name and business website, that goes back to what I said about getting visibility. The software, again, this is just optional. Like QuickBooks, my QuickBooks does it for me. The phone number, oh yeah, that's what I was saying. You don't necessarily have to use a professional phone number. I've applied with my cell phone, and people these like you got to remember, like the banks know that you're a small business owner, so like you want to do things legit, but at the same time, they also understand that most small business owners just aren't, they're not a corporation. They don't have a lot of the things or resources or the manpower to operate at that level, you know? Even because yeah, I just still use my personal number, even though I have a CRM. It's just bad habits. But, anyways, yeah, and that's what you do. So these are the main like the main two things really. The business articles and then the EIN are the two main things you want to make sure all line up. And then if you got to change it, this is the steps to do it. I'm not going to get into how to change it, right? Because again, I'm just kind of like doing a quick speed through or speed run on business credit and giving you the most actionable things, right? So that's that, or clearing up more the myths of it. What else? I think that's the main stuff, really. So again, that's why I don't charge money for this, because it's not complicated information, and it takes like it's very easy to explain. It's not hard to do, and then also I know because no one looks at PAYDEX. Like you don't need it. Like I'm not gonna sell something that isn't needed, you know. So I think that's enough talking for now on my end. I don't know. I hope that made sense. Did you like if anyone wants to ask questions, they can ask whatever questions they have. Everyone should have the option to unmute. So
Hey,
How's it
David, can
going?
you hear me? Damn it. Hold on. We're fixing
yeah,
it. Do
I
I have
can.
the
Good.
echo still?
No, not anymore.
Okay, great. Sorry, we turned on the TV. We're watching it on two devices. So basically,
So
you're just going through the free Real Talk credit booklet right now. Is that what you're doing?
I took the main pieces out of it. So basically, like what I did, what like just like I took this piece out, the building the PAYDEX, and then the credibility part. That was it. Because that's the main stuff that people are selling, right? They're selling mainly the corporate structures, and then they're also selling the PAYDEX. But I just pulled out those pieces because I'm telling you, like, it's in the course, and then also this is the foundation to business credit, and you don't have to pay anyone for that.
Yeah, I actually printed off that it was like 64 pages, and it was fantastic and very informative, and organized. So I don't, if anybody else in the school group has not gone through or utilized that resource, I highly recommend that they go do that. And I would even request at some point, if maybe you could go through it piece by piece by piece, just because it's so valuable and thorough. I don't know if that's something you could do at some point.
No, I can absolutely do that. This was just kind of off the
Off the cuff.
yeah, off the cuffs, and then but I know that these two main things are the most requested and most asked about. And also, this is like what people are studying as well, is how to build the PAYDEX and the structure and things like that.
Right. Okay. Um, I'm pretty new to this, and I'm just going through that. It's kind of got me up to speed. So, just for clarity, the PAYDEX, could I consider that like a credit profile, like a personal credit profile, but on the business side, is that kind of what the PAYDEX is?
Yeah, yeah, it is a type of profile, but it is not that specific scoring model. They don't use it to determine if they're going to lend you either on the business credit cards or on business lines of credit.
Got it. Got it. Okay.
Hmm.
Um, I guess the other thing too, it was a little bit hard to read on my phone some of that stuff when you were
Yeah,
going through it. Just, but now that I know that it was all from that the booklet that I have printed off, I'm just going to go back through that again.
Yeah, next time I'll probably do a slideshow. It's just I've been really busy lately, and but this is yeah, I just but I really wanted to do it though because this is the main stuff that's gonna save people a lot of money. Like actually, I was just on a consulting call earlier in the day, and she told me how she paid someone to build up all of this actually. So not they did the PAYDEX and what else? The registering of business, right? And um, she hasn't gotten funded because she started back in February, and I was like, your credit profile, because I know and this is like the stuff I know about funding is like a startup. There's three main lenders that do startup funding. That's Bank of America, Chase, and Amex, and that's pretty much it. But then at the 3 month mark, that's when more lenders open up, and then at the 6 month mark, you can pretty much get whatever you want on the business card side of things, right? And so I was like, what I would have done is I wouldn't have even done anything with PAYDEX because I just know it doesn't work. I would have just registered the LLC the way I know how to do it, or just showed you how to do it, right? Or get an attorney, whatever. Get the LLC, and then go and get funding, right? And then on top of that, because I know that lending decisions are not only just based on your FICO, financials, and the age of the business, they also base it off of like your current relationship, like how you're managing the current relationship, right? And yeah, that's what I go into on the basics of credit stacking. That's the new module I added, and that module goes into actually how to get the approvals like consistently. And the key thing is really the key thing is the business, like the relationship you build with the banks, you know.
So do you think
So
that it's important to like so I've been kind of utilizing a bunch of the stuff that you've been saying and doing it because I happen to be at the 2 year point of my LLCs and it was pertinent a bunch of the information that you gave away. I've been kind of like making excuses in a way to go in and talk to my bank manager, my financial advisors. Is that something that I should continue to do?
if you'd like, yeah, you can definitely do that. That's actually kind of how I learned when I was younger. I would just go in there because I didn't have anyone to teach me any of this, and so I would just go in there and ask them questions, and eventually they're like, "This is how you do it. This is how the application." And it is you don't have to do those things by the way, but like it does kind of it help because that's when you get it like that's the right way to do it when it comes to reconsiderations, right? And you probably have heard of people saying like, oh, there's a secret phone number you can call for them to reconsider your application. And that's the stuff I'm talking about where I say it's true and it isn't true, because to get to a level where they're going to reconsider your application, a lot of times it's because you have a strong relationship with that banker, and then other times, certain banks they just don't do it at all. They just don't do it, right?
How much of it is like AI screening and how much of it is like personal, like is there personal sway? Like can I kind of manipulate that at all, or is it mostly like what you're talking about where you just have to have the sequence of everything and have all your ducks in a row?
So if you ever like if they say it's streamlined, a lot of times there's zero sway. And then when it comes to when they can overlook things, that's I've noticed it comes down to the request that you're making. So once you start hitting like the $250,000 request that we did with that client, there was not only did the banker get involved, but one of the regional managers was involved, and they're like, "We want to get to know you, your business, make sure like you're comfortable here." And because they know for you to get a $250,000 loan, you're typically are bringing in a lot of revenue, and so their goal is to try to win that business, right? But then versus someone putting in a request for like $50,000, they may or may not put that extra attention to it, and that's really like a lot of it is that really is like what's your financial status, and they make for sure on the business side of things they make it a point where it's like if you're not within certain thresholds, they're not going to take that, they're not going to be as adamant about getting you approved and things like that. It's kind of weird, but it
It
happens.
makes sense though. I mean, it's a risk, so they got to mitigate the risk, I guess. So.
Yeah, but like another way to like build up that relationship, like engineer the relationship, is not like you can go in there, open the business checking account, kind of give them a little spiel like, oh, I'm thinking about applying down the road and like I don't know, just whatever time frame, and then putting money into that checking account. And especially if you have a large amount, you can do a large deposit of like 10, 20, and that does help, right? Because that's yeah, that they look at the banking and then even better, like if you are making money already, you can consider adding the merchant processor, like where they deposit the money, as having that as a revenue account where they can see daily deposits or weekly, right?
Okay, so
Um,
I have my LLCs or my rental properties, and I have my collect my rental income every month through those LLCs. It's
mhm.
not a crazy amount. Is there anything that I could do to amplify that to help myself qualify for more, or is that just something I just let it do its thing?
If it's consistent, then you can put that money into that business checking account, and they're gonna see it, and that'll help, right? And like it may become a like, and then this is when it comes down to like the types of products. Like if you're applying for a business line of credit, doing those types of deposits with like once they ask you like where it's coming from, then that's usually where that strategy falls apart. Versus like if it's just a business card though, and there's just daily or weekly deposits, and it's like from the what's it called, and it's from the um what is it called, from like your processor, whoever your processor is, then that'll help you, right? Because they're not going to ask the source.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Thank you, David. I'll let some other people talk. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Oh, wait, there was comments here? Oh, okay, I can answer that by the way, Kimberly. The difference between a net 30 and net 60 and which one's better. So basically, um, if you want to figure out how to get good payment terms, I can break that down on PAYDEX. But basically, if someone says I have a net 30, that means you have 30 days to pay that invoice, right? Or if it's a net 60, it's 60 days, right? As far as which one looks better, it's not so much whether one or the other is better. It really comes down to the management. If you get an invoice, you're going to want to pay that early. So if you're paying it early, then that helps with your payment experiences. That's what they call it. It's called payment experiences. So hold on. Cool. And then Eric, I saw that you couldn't hear me. I apologize about that. Um, I just now noticed the chats. Yeah, I don't know if anyone else has any other questions, and then also if this was clear. I hope it was clear. Yeah, you're welcome, Kimberly. So I guess the main things that you should get out of this is really don't worry about PAYDEX. You don't need a PAYDEX. It is just not. It's just not needed if your goal is to get business credit card financing or the business lines of credit. Oh, you know what? I have something I can definitely share that you're gonna like because this flow, the framework that I have on how to get the financing or like what you can get, now that you know what PAYDEX is for, how it's used for, and then also the entity structure. I'll make this more organized, but then like the entity structure, like what you need to like actually structure your business, and then after that comes the funding. But it'll this will make it a lot clearer here. Oh wait, that's the video. I don't want the video. Yeah, this is a good way to tie everything actually, and then I'm gonna go back watch this, and then I'll probably create some slides when I get some time because it's actually gonna be like a lot of funding agents would not take the time to teach this because they would feel that they're going to lose all the business, right? But this is there's more nuances to getting funding though, right? It's not that easy, but basically 0 to 6 months. If you have a 680 score, then you can get unsecured business credit cards. If not, it's credit repair, business cards, right? This is how easy it is to get funding. That's the main reason I'm showing 6 to 12 months. Yes, okay. And this is the business age. Experience is a 680 plus, no credit repair, and then you go here generally, right? But if you do have a 680 unsecured business cards, right? And then, oh, well, here, since we're already in this, I'll get back to the ideal credit profile. Anyways, business 1 to 2 years old. Yeah. Okay. Experian 680 plus. Yes. Financials. And then that's when the question on financials becomes important. I mean, I can add it here, but I didn't want to talk about alternative financing. I just wanted to keep it simple. But my point, do you have the financials? No. Then you might be able to get an unsecured business or lines of credit, the term loans, and but they'd have to be stated income, and you're going to probably spend more time looking for it than actually being able to get qualified. Like sometimes they exist, but it's very rare. But anyways, uh, if you just can't find it, then unsecured business credit cards. If you do have the financials, then all of this opens up, and you're going to have an easier time finding these, right? If the business is more than 2 years, the 680 plus again, credit repair if it's not, but if it is, the financials. If not financials, then this is when you can get stated income. When I say stated income, that means they're not going to require your uh, your business tax returns, balance sheet, etc. Right? But so that's when that opens up. But if you do have the financials, you're gonna have a lot easier time because, like I said, that's how I got the 250, this $250,000 approval, right? Um, but that's basically funding in a nutshell, a quick overview. And then the key thing that does affect that is I went over that earlier is that you need a mix of primaries, credit cards, personal loans, autos, and they need to be aged for at least 2 years, all positive history, right? Um, but that's how you actually get business credit, right? And so really that I hope I see I created the teaching in a way where it's clear now. That's why I started with PAYDEX, and then from there I went into the entity structure, and then from there I talked about the actual visibility part, which is just getting the website right, because like that's why they sell you PAYDEX because they're gonna say, oh, we need to do this plus this, but that's a lot. That's like the red herring, right? That's the wrong path. That's the lie that people are selling. The correct thing is entity structure, and then from there, visibility, and then personal credit score. Does the business have financials? And then that's it. And then you follow this simple flow chart, right? And that's pretty much it. And then from there, that's when I come in with the data points. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, I know this lender, they like to lend to these types of businesses, or because your revenue is this, go here. Like I'll give you a more specific data point. Elon Financial, if you don't know who Elon, like this is Elon Financial is one of the largest underwriters in the US, right? US Bank owns them actually. They own Elon. Elon, here they are. They underwrite. That's all they do. Credit cards. All right, it's a little slow. I don't like when things go slow. But they're just underwriters, right? And US Bank owns them, right? But the reason I'm bringing this up is Elon, I think they specifically pull TransUnion. And then on top of that, if your TransUnion scores a 780 plus, then you can go to pretty much any place that uses Elon as the underwriter and get anywhere from what is it? I forget. It's like 50 to $63,000 on a single business credit card, right? But again, it's because that's what I mean about data points. You see what I'm saying? Some people are talking about completely different things where it's like borderline, um, what's it called? Like borderline, just like altering information, right? But it's like I know how to take people's exact current information and use that with the banks that I know because I know their underwriting criteria, right? And so it's a mix of knowing their criteria and then also just knowing that type of stuff about application structure. but that's just one example. It's like Elon Financial. If your TransUnion scores a 780 plus, and then you have the right types of accounts here, like how I said, like that, with the mix, then you can get about like at the most $63,000 off that card. I wouldn't do it with U.S. Bank. I would go directly with someone that like this. Like my credit union actually is uh underwritten by them. So and there's you'll yeah, and then but that's the stuff I know. I know which banks have all that information, right? So um that's how easy it is to do the funding, right? And I think I have it here, the credit stacking basics. Yeah, watch the full video. Yeah. So this is the core strategy, and that's this is how you do the business credit, right? So yeah, you just make sure like underwriting, right? Talk to the you don't have to talk to the underwriter actually. This is for like loans where you do that. But you ask credit bureau underwriter max approval limit without documentation, right? These are the basic questions. You build your sequence from different bureaus, or sorry, that pull from different bureaus and then different underwriters, and then also targeted funding range, right? So like three Experian lenders, three TransUnion, three Equifax, and then you apply in a sequence. And the soft pull strategy, you don't. That's more advanced stuff. Like this is the stuff that I know how to do. Like if I get a credit file that I don't know if I can get approved, I know lenders that do soft pulls first, and if they get approved through a soft pull, then it tells me that we might have a shot with the bigger products, right? But if they can't even get a product that is a soft pull, then it means their credit profile is not strong. So that's what a soft pull strategy is. It works on both, all this stuff works on the personal side as well. Because again, all we did, like me and my friend, we took everything from the personal and applied it to business. And there's like nuances though. There's like just little steps that if you don't know, that's what will ruin your stack, right? And again, we don't have to get into the nuances of things, but because I don't want to make it seem super hard either, because it's not hard. And this is how you get multiple products with one hard pull. It's very similar. Well, actually, no. This is when you go for the bigger product, right? So really, like this guy right here, actually, the $100,000. Let me get the email. Where's the email? I have the email actually. Hey David, thank you. Is this it? Yeah. So this is the line of credit, right? Uh, that I got here through BMO, and then we asked for another $50,000 credit card after immediately after, because they pulled the credit already, and then it's like, okay, we got you the 100,000. It's like, hey, use that same hard pull to get me another credit card. And the reason why you do that is because typically you need they pull your credit twice, but the more inquiries you have, like that'll ruin your stack, right? So that's how you get multiple products with one hard pull. That's like a very simple way to do it, or explanation and like example, right? And then I personally keep a funding log of everything. I'll show you guys my funding log, more so like the data points that I have, right? And then this is what I was talking about, warming up the bank relationships. You open a business checking account and you put large deposits. If you're able to, and you're making already business revenue, you want to temporarily maybe move your merchant processor with that bank and have the deposits go there. And if you're already making money, like you'll know exactly how to do that. It'd be very easy, and that's how you generate the banking relationship. What's it called? History. Now I'll show you my actual lender sheet. I gotta find it though. I do a lot of I think this one's it. Yeah, this one's my favorite one because it's all 50 states, right? Like you can see here, it's all fit. Oh wait, I'm doing it wrong. So it's all the different states, and when we'll just do Arizona, because in Arizona, and I'm really educated on this here in AZ. Just going slow. I apologize. This is like the stuff I talk about. I think it's on. Okay, it's lagging a little, but anyways, um, yeah, this is the data points that I talk about, right? And the reason why not all of them are filled out is because I just know I have call scripts. I know how to get the information, but I have specific lenders that I like. And yeah, this is what I mean about the bureau they pull from, underwriter, who like some places they underwrite within. So like Bank of America, statements are required. The geolock, you don't need to worry about that. That's more advanced stuff. And then the apply online is more advanced stuff as well. That's but yeah, that this is how you do it, right? And you don't have to take it to this point. I kind of am kind of now going further into the actual part of what's it called of actually getting business credit, right? But that's how that's the foundation, right, of everything. Let me end my screen share and then look at the comments. What? Okay, something's wrong with my camera. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. Um, Great. Okay. I guess you don't have to see me, but this is my first time using the school live. But will we be able to see this flow chart later? I don't have the actual flow chart in the free. I might. You know what? I'll just paste it in because it's just a flow chart, right? So I'll paste the flow chart into the how to get funded part. Again, I apologize that you guys can't hear me. Just, but I'm working with what I got. Or I mean, you can hear me but can't see me. That's frustrating. Whatever. Um. Anyways, I think I think that's good for now. I don't know if anyone else has more questions. I know. I think Amon had questions. Like you unmuted yourself, but I never got your question.
Oh no, I was just giving you some feedback. I just was saying good information. I needed
It
it. Thank you so much.
okay. No, I like that. And this is my first time doing this, by the way. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't know because I think this is good enough to start. Because at this point, if I start talking about how to do the credit stacking and all that, it might go right. It might just be information overload. I already feel that I kind of overloaded everyone. But how's everyone like the presentation? So, like how did I do? I guess.
I enjoyed it. Like I said, I mean, maybe when you throw it into a presentation, it'll be a little bit easier to digest.
Dude, yeah.
You know, I mean, I work in this day to day, so I kind of understand it a little bit better. But
Mhm.
maybe for other people, but other than that, bro, I think you did great.
Oh, okay, cool. No, I like it. I like it. Um, did it lag at all? By the way, did it lag when I was sharing my screen? Because that was my biggest fear is that like I'm gonna be sharing my screen and it'll be lagging.
Nah, bro, you got good Wi-Fi.
I got good Wi-Fi. Okay, cool, cool. Um, Sweet. Yeah, I'm gonna organize this because this is the main stuff that everyone's gonna see online, and I'm gonna also share this recording. I think I can like you guys can download it. There should be a way to download it. It'll go on my YouTube channel, and for sure it'll be in the school YouTube channel. And yeah, how are you doing, Michael? Oh, he left. All right. Well, I'm not sure. Yeah, I guess we're good, huh? All right. Well, yeah, I'm gonna hop off, and if anyone needs anything, message me. What else? Message me. Make posting comments, and you can post questions in the group as well in the school group. Any questions you have, just post it in there. I'm happy to answer that. And yeah, next time I'll probably do this again later, and I just need to sit down and really create the content, I guess. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Have a good one.